It's Womanless Night Out time! How you guys doing tonight? Happy Wend Wellness Nerd Out time, you guys. And today we are going to be talking about how having more protein in your diet can actually help you to burn more fat, believe it or not. But before we get into anything, we have to absolutely say happy birthday to my Aunt Marie. Happy birthday, Aunt Marie. I love you. This one's for you. We'll talk about her more at the end. And we also got to say happy birthday, Eric Rafferty. Happy birthday, Rav. A Wend Wellness OG. He was doing them out on the front lawn since the very beginning. We'll talk about him more at the end as well. But for now, let's get into our discussion of the day. And that's about eating more protein and burning more fat. So, how does this happen? Well, actually having protein, there are many different ways, and having more protein will leave you feeling fuller for longer, will leave you satisfied, more satiated, we could say, right, than having carbs or fats alone. And, obviously, if you had protein plus either of those, fats or carbs, you would feel even fuller. But protein will leave you feeling the fullest. And this is interesting because when we talk about breaking down amino acids, we actually only get 4 kilocalories per gram of energy, the same as carbs. Again, 4 kilocalories per gram, whereas fat gives us 9, over double the amount of energy, kilocalories per gram. So, this is for fullness, again, not as much for energy, right? And so maybe that can help to regulate our appetite and prevent us from eating too much throughout the rest of our day. All right. Another reason that fat loss can be accompanied by higher protein intake is that protein requires a lot of energy to break down, right? And so we actually burn a lot of calories breaking down protein because, generally, we want to break down carbs or fats first. We don't want to delve into our building blocks if we don't have to. Right? And so it makes sense that this requires more energy. So you actually burn more calories breaking down protein in itself. Another fascinating way here that protein intake can promote fat loss. And lastly, it's inefficient. It is inefficient to convert protein into fat. Okay? It's inefficient to do this. The body would like to avoid that. It will take the easiest path naturally along a route, right? And it won't fight anything in this sense. And so it makes sense that with excess protein, if it's not being used for normal physiological functions such as building lean muscle mass, then we are either going to oxidize those amino acids for energy or we're going to convert them into glucose and store it as glycogen. So we won't produce fat from these amino acids, right? At least it's unlikely. And so when we talk about different demographics and, different amounts of protein intake that we want per day, well, generally the adequate intake as of late, they came out with some studies that show it should actually be a little bit higher than we had thought previously. And so to prevent muscle wasting in general, the average person should be having an absolute minimum recommended dietary allowance of 0.45 to 0.55 grams per pound of body weight of protein per day. That's 0.45 to 0.55 grams per pound of body weight at an absolute minimum. All right. So if you're someone that is looking to burn fat, right, the average person looking to just burn more fat, the amount of protein you're looking at is 0.68 to 1.23 grams per pound of body weight of protein per day. All right. And if you're somebody that is very active, healthy, and fit, you exercise a lot, right? You need a little bit more if you want to promote fat loss with your protein intake. And so we're looking at 0.82 to 1.23 grams of protein per pound of body weight per day. All right. And lastly, if you're overweight or obese, then it's going to be a little bit lower for you. It's going to be 0.54 to 0.68 grams per pound of body weight per day of protein. All right. To promote fat loss once again. So a lot of different numbers there. Look back if you fit one of those demographics. But, most of you probably fit that 0.68 to 1.23 grams per pound of body weight, right? Those healthy, active people that are just looking to burn more fat, with increasing their protein intake. Now, interestingly, if you are someone that is vegan or you have a primarily plant-based diet, well, you are going to need a little bit more protein than the average person. And this is because plant-based proteins are generally inferior to animal-based proteins in the sense of their bioavailability, so how much we can uptake and absorb and use, and their amino acid profiles. All right, so the types of amino acids, collections of amino acids that make up those polypeptide, those protein chains in plant-based foods. So again, if you're vegan or you have a primarily plant-based diet, you are going to need a little bit more protein than the average person. Who do we got on here? Slayman Hamer, how you doing? Thank you for hopping on, my fine feathered friend. And before we get out of here, we got to say happy birthday, Aunt Marie. Happy birthday, Aunt Marie. Oh, my gosh. I remember when I think of you, I think of going down to the Florida Keys when I was a kid. And I think of when you took me to the grocery store that time, or whatever store, and you bought me these blue flippers. You bought me these blue flippers. And I'll never forget, they're clear blue flippers. And I was swimming with them with my mask that my dad got me, one of the good ones, not those crappy goggles, like the nice big one that I could really see well underwater. And I was so pumped about it because I would go underwater in 3 foot deep water. I would be looking for shells, and I would collect them and see tropical fish. And I had so much fun. I really did. And that's one memory. And I just remember seeing you guys down there all the time. And I was fortunate enough to be able to see you this past year when I went down to Florida to stay at my mom's condo for a little bit in Fort Myers. And it was great to see you. It was great to see Uncle Louie. I even got to, play some golf with him and have some fun and hear a few stories while we were at it. So fantastic time. And I love you so much. This one's absolutely for you. So happy birthday. Who else we got? Eric Rafferty. Happy birthday, man. Happy birthday, Raph. Dude. I haven't seen you in a minute, my friend. I can't believe I haven't done a Wend Wellness with you or a workout or anything in months and months and months. I hope this motivates you to get out and do a workout with me. I'm calling you out right here. Nah, but you're a beast, man. Great rugger, great tackler. Raph would always stick you if you try to run around him. I promise you that. And, a super hard worker, and you're just a great guy. You have a great heart. Your whole family's great. And this one absolutely as well is for you, man. I remember we were first doing Wend Wellness. It was probably just a couple weeks in the very beginning last year. And you were out there getting after it with me on the front lawn, making your own little dirt patch, I think that patch is still partially there. You did a bunch of them, so I'm not surprised about that. But this one's for you too, man. Happy birthday, all right? Pluchino, how you doing, baby? Cuban Cheeks, what's up? Thank you guys very much. Go get some protein and burn some fat, and have a great rest of your night. We'll see you tomorrow, guys. Happy Wend Wellness. Thank you.